Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel where I am once again really late in recording and uploading my Alliance War season-ending rewards. I've been so busy with work and uploading other content and everything, and I also wanted to make sure that I had enough Titan shards to open a Titan crystal during this video, so I need to do like other content in the meantime. As per usual, we were going through the rewards opening, and then if you want to stick around, I'll be detailing how the season went for myself and my Alliance. Before I claim these rewards, I do want to go through them. The real appeal of getting podium for us was the dupe on Scarlet Witch. So if you make top 10 for the past couple seasons, you were guaranteed a 6-star Scarlet Witch, but if you made podium, you were given a copy of her and an immediate dupe. So you see the times 2 there, which is really, really cool. Also get, I think this is 2/3 or 3/4 of a tier 4 alpha, so this is going to give me 1 and change, still pretty far off from forming another, enough for a rank 3 rather. And then these loyalty crystal shadow tokens, I will be redeeming these for 7-star shards since I no longer require the loyalty crystal. If you've been watching the channel the past couple days, you know why. And then we have enough Titan shards already for a Titan crystal. This will be getting us set up for another one, which I think I'll be able to get once the Spring of Sorrow Gauntlet finishes up this week. And then I think we'll have enough Relic shards here, yeah, for a 6-star Relic crystal. And then last but certainly not least, we'll have 3 6-star Nexus crystals to open. I'm only missing, I think, 2 champs from the 6-star basic pool, so we'll be going for those today. So let's go ahead and claim these, and then we'll jump right into the rewards. All right, let's start off with the 6-star Nexus crystals. As I mentioned a moment ago, there are only 2 champions in the basic pool that I'm currently missing: OG Captain America and Cheel. So we're gonna have 2 chances at OG Cap today, and then 1 chance at Cheel. So let's go ahead and see if we can snag him. Other than that, anything else out of here would be fine. Nothing in the first one. We'll take the max sigs on thing, and then number 2, well, there's only one option here, so we're going to be taking that. So no cap once again, but we did get 2 max sig crystals, which I'm pretty pleased with. So let's go ahead and hop over to the skill one. All right, so the only champ we really need to see out of here is 6-star Cheelth. Other than that, I don't even think I'm missing any dupes on skill champs at the moment, so max sig or Cheelth would be great. Hey, there she is. All right, we are down to 1 missing champ in the 6-star base pool. Very, very pleased with that. So 1 out of 3 we'll consider a. Well, all 3 of them were actually W's. I'm not upset with any of those. 2 max sigs and a missing champ. Very pleased with that. All right, moving on. Let's open up this 6-star Relic crystal. I don't really have a good idea of which 6-star relics I'm missing or need dupes on, so I guess I'll be as surprised as you on whatever pops out of here. I think my highest ranked relic is a Green Goblin. The only one I have at rank 3, so more sigs on him would be fine. A dupe on Gamora actually would be pretty clutch, or the dupe on the Black Widow relic I would also really enjoy, now that I think about it. So 6-star relic from War Rewards is getting us a... is that a first dupe on Vision? I think it might be. Wait with bated breath here. Is that a... yes, that is really good. I think I have him either on... let me think here. I think I have him on Viv Vision currently. That's awesome, though. I love the Vision Relic. Really good for tech champs with heal block, especially with Deathless Vision coming out. Deathless Vision, I think, is especially going to synergize really, really well with this relic. So that is that's a huge W. All right, moving on to the 7-star basic crystals. We have enough shards for 2, so we'll go ahead and get both of those. I honestly can't think of anything in particular that I'm looking for out of these, so let's just hope for something good. I see Warlock in the reel. I still don't have a Warlock. Yeah, there's a bunch of champs in here that I'm missing. A dupe on Killmonger would also be fantastic. 7-star basic number 1 is getting us a more sigs on 7-star Shuri. I think that brings her up to, like, I want to say like 80 or 100 maybe. 80. Okay, yeah. So maybe I should consider taking her up to rank 3. I think she is a prestige option now. I do have that tech gem laying around, but I think right now I want to either use it on Deathless Vision or Death Strike. So we'll see. Dupe on Hyperion would also be good. I see him rolling around. Werewolf also in the reel. It's going really fast. I can't really see much of it, so let's go ahead and tap it. And 7-star basic number 2 is getting us a more Sigs on Crossbones. Hooray! Hooray! Can't wait to not rank him up and not use him. So if you're new to the channel, I know how good Crossbones is. I just can't stand using him. I get so annoyed when the Furies drop off because I spend so much time trying to make sure that I have good uptime of them, and I find him very frustrating to play. So that's fine. Titan Shards is good for both of those, and Shuri is awesome champ. So as it turns out, the dupes on those 2 7-stars actually gave us just enough Titan Shards where we can open 2 Titan Crystals in this video. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to even bother saying which champions I don't want to see because I will not speak their names out loud. But the champs that I do want to see out of here, an Onslaught dupe would be fantastic. I think my number 1 option is still probably an Ironheart dupe. I really like her. I have it at rank 3. The first time dupe on a 7-star Ironheart is really, really valuable in my opinion. Red Skull would be new. That would be, if I pulled a Red Skull, it would be really difficult to justify taking another tech champ to rank 3 over him. A lot of really, really solid options in here, so we're just hoping to not get screwed like we did on 3 of the previous 4 Titan Crystals here. So, all right, here we go. Titan Crystal number 1. Again, Ironheart dupe, number 1 option. Onslaught dupe. I see Destroyer in there. I still don't have Destroyer. A Sim Supreme wouldn't also be bad either, even though we have a rank 3 in the battle group, and I probably won't get assigned him very much this season. All right, Titan Crystal number 1 is getting us a Blade. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's a new champ. I think we've sent Blade a couple times during this war season. Yeah, I'm not upset with that. It definitely could be worse than a 7-star Blade. That's for sure. All right, let's go ahead and spin out Titan Crystal number 2. Man, all I want is that Ironheart to pop out of here. Prowler would also be really good. I do like me some Prowler. All right, 7-star Titan number 2, finishing off our war rewards with a 7-star. Yes! Yes! Absolute W. Let's go! Yes! 7-star Prowler, baby. That is fantastic. Whew! Prowler is incredible. And Blade, very underrated. I'm pretty pleased with both of those. Let's go ahead and screenshot that for the Alliance. And now that those are done, let's go ahead and jump into the season review. All right, let's start off the review portion with a summary of the season. SSX finished Season 50 on the podium at rank 3 overall. Very, very big accomplishment for us. For me personally, this was my first time ever making podium, and then for SSX, only made the podium one other time, I think back in like Season 32, but that was way before I joined. So huge accomplishment for all of us. We were in legit contention for War Champ down the stretch. If you followed the War videos this season, we ended up losing in War 11 to GT on a tiebreaker, so we did not have a chance for War Champion after that, and then a bit of a hangover war to end the season against Salty, which was to decide the number 2 spot. So, a little bit of a bummer to end the season, but super pleased overall with how the season ended up for sure. You cannot be upset with a rank 3 finish. I really felt like everybody in the Alliance grasped the tactic very early on, and this resulted in very low death counts for us, especially compared to the previous 2 tactics. And speaking of low death counts, 57 kills for me this season. That's a pretty average workload for me. I talked in the last season review video about how I felt kind of like a passenger because I was dying so much, but not the case this season. Actually, took some boss fights, took some mini bosses, and felt like an active contributor to the success of the Alliance, so that was good for me. And then it's been a minute since I've been able to say this, but I finished the season deathless. I think the last time I did this was in Season 45. I think that was the last Decay season. So yeah, super pleased with the deathless season. That's kind of the standard that I've set for myself, and anything other than a 0 in that column is a bit of a disappointment for me. And then last on this page, our record for the season finished off at 10-2. I believe 10 of our 12 wars this season were against opponents who finished in the Masters bracket, so we ended up playing basically half of Masters, and then our 2 losses there were to the 2 alliances that were above us. So in summary, I think we definitely earned our spot on the podium this season, and I am very excited to try and repeat our success in Season 51. All right, let's take a look at my fight summary for the season. Greens, of course, are solos, and the sheet looks just the way we want it to, with all the boxes lit up in green, no yellows, no oranges in sight. In terms of my favorite fights from this season, there's a couple of standouts. The spot boss in War 3 is a standout. I've really grown to appreciate just how powerful Black Cat is, especially in fights where she can basically just shut down anything that the defender wants to do. And her damage is just out of control good. I'm so happy to have her up at rank 3. The other standout, I think, is the Mr. Sinister fight in War 10 against AOH. If you had been following the War videos this season, I took Dust a bunch of times on 4B with Viv, and I felt like I was chasing the perfect Viv Vision fight all season. Every time I took her into a war fight, I would take a hit, I would take a blocked hit, and the goal with Viv really is to finish the fight without taking any damage, and I finally got it done in War 10 against that Mr. Sinister, and then promptly almost gave up a death against the Dust on Boss Island. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Now, when it comes to my least favorite fights, there isn't really a standout option. However, first one that kind of came to mind is the Spider-Ham fight in War 8 against DSVG. And if you recall, that was the one where I had to join early. I had a path split in Section 1, and the person that I was splitting with really wanted to jump in and get their fights done right away. And as a result, I did not take the time that was necessary to prep for that fight the way that I usually do with other fights. And it's one of those fights where anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. He was evading all over the place because I was late on heavies. I was stupidly trying to punish his specials with the tactic not up, and it was just a mess. I was cornered. I had power stings on me. He was comboing me, and I was really lucky to get out of there without dying. So lesson learned for me, no matter what, take the time that is necessary to prep for every single fight. Next up, let's take a look at a breakdown of all of my assigned attackers for this season, and Black Cat occupying the top spot with 11 fights. Having a tactic attacker at rank 3, especially one as good as she is, very valuable to the battle group, and I really expect that I will be assigned her just as much next season, if not more, especially with the way that the blacklist and bans are going to play out. Deathless King Groot, one of my favorite champions in the game, coming in at the number 2 spot. And again here, I really expect that I will be assigned him more often next season, especially with the top tactic attackers going to be banned pretty much every war. Chavez coming in at number 3. Most of those fights I think were against that Gore on Path 8B. We did take a Serpent with her this season, which was pretty fun. Onslaught and Viv Vision coming in on a tie for the 4th place spot. Onslaught is at rank 3 now. We took a bunch of hazard shift stuff with him. Just really, really fun to use, and he's such a tank. And then any season where I get to use Viv Vision is a good season, and she was undoubtedly the best option for that 4B Dust fight that I took so many times. And then coming in at the number 5 spot, despite a season where opportunities to use him were few and far between, and he wasn't tactic, Void still manages to make the top 5, so always pleased to see him there, of course. Okay, last chart I want to look at here is a summary of my loyalty, income, and expenses for the season. And in a season where you win 10 out of 12 wars, you're going to be gaining a lot of loyalty. And I haven't looked at all the previous seasons, but I think that this is probably my most profitable season ever in terms of loyalty, with over 620k net gain there. I also felt like my expenses this season were very low. My potion usage was really low. There were only a couple of fights where I needed to dump like more than a couple of potions and actually like heal up for. Like I usually top up my champs, but I lost very little health overall in fights where I needed to heal up for subsequent fights, which was nice. That said, I did use quite a few boosts this season, as you can see, especially in the 12% special boosts and the power backs as well. I used quite a few of those. And then for units spent, very low this season, only ended up buying 1 large energy refill, didn't have to buy any potions, which is great, and that 500 unit potion bundle, I don't even think that was offered this season, so I wouldn't have needed it anyways, but yeah, I was happy not to have to spend those units. Last but certainly not least, I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to all of the officers and planners in SSX. for their tireless efforts this season, especially this season, since it resulted in us getting to the podium, which is a huge accomplishment for the Alliance. In particular, I want to give a special thank you to the officers and planners in BG3, notably Mr. DLL here, for allowing me to come on and help plan like on my own this season. So planning was something that I kind of wanted to get more involved with. I dabbled, in it the previous few seasons, just hopping on call and just offering some insight, mostly observing kind of how it was done. But this season, I was given the opportunity to be much more involved in planning and even go so far as doing one war plan, basically completely on my own. Which resulted in a donut, and I was very, very proud of that. But, I'm sure DLL is appreciative of having some other people come in and kind of lighten the load for him for planning. But I'm also very appreciative for kind of being able to get that experience. And it is absolutely as much work as it looks like or seems like if you're an outside observer. So definitely a huge commitment there. So yeah, thank you to DLL. Thank you also to Na. Na kind of stepped back a bit from officer stuff the past few seasons, but one war in particular this season, we had the plan together and there were a bunch of fights that just didn't feel right, so we essentially threw the plan out and started over from scratch, and we kind of had to race. This was at like 10 or 11 in the morning on like the day that war was going to end, and we really had to like really race to get the war plan together and out. And so we kind of all came together and really got a solid plan working. So big thank you to Na. And also last but not least, Mr. William. With Royu out on break this season, William and I kind of entered in and got really involved in the planning. So it was really a group effort between the four of us getting the plans out this season. So again, I'm very thankful and very appreciative to all three of those guys for their help this season. That's going to do it for another season rewards video. Folks, let me know in the comments below what you got from your season rewards. I know it was a few days ago, so you may not remember, but if you do, pop it in the comment below. And also let me know where your alliance finished. I am really curious to see where everybody else ended up. I will continue to put out the war videos. It's something that I really do still enjoy doing. I like talking through fights and kind of explaining my thought process, especially analyzing like where I made mistakes and how I can correct it next time. And I really do hope that it's helpful for people who do watch those. The war videos aren't very popular on the channel, but I think that for the people who do watch them, they are, they find them very enjoyable. So I will continue to put those out. And I also do think that I have a different approach to war and fights in particular from other tier 1 players. So I think seeing that variety in approaches to fights is really valuable for you, the viewer. At least I think so. So that's going to do it. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next season.